This is a really good story. It's a bit longer, but I've got to tell it in a certain way for it to land. You know what I mean? But it's good. So there's basically this guy working in an agency, and he'd been brought in with no recruitment experience. I always wonder what is going through people's heads when they do this. But he'd worked in industry, and they brought him in not as a rookie.
Right.
So because he's got industry experience, they think like, oh, he's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Because he knows a couple of acronyms.
Well, and also it's the build industry, like architecture and stuff. So it's a very different world to recruitment. But anyway, they did it, okay? Very well regarded in his sector, very senior. All the directors thought, oh, he's a top biller, he's going to be a top biller, right? So when the person who's told me this story started, he started in the same agency as a rookie. So this guy's been brought in like, wow. And this guy, my mate, comes in as a rookie, and he's already not billed for 9 months, not a penny, nothing. But always had these big stories about like he was going to bill and then things would fall out. So they kept keeping him on basically. Yeah. But 18 months later, still nothing. It's quite a long time, isn't it, right?
Long time.
And this was quite a while ago. So, it was sort of more hire and fire then, wasn't it? Yeah. So at this point, he's under a lot of pressure. And then they bring in a new director into the business. And you know what it's like? The new director comes in, 4 to 5 months in, he's really putting the pressure on, like, what the fuck are you doing? Do you know what I mean? You need to be bringing money in. And bearing in mind, my mate, he was a rookie, was billing good. So it was showing him up big time. But he was never really making calls and would say things like, oh, yeah, I've got this big deal coming on, like with this massive, well-known company. Almost unbelievable scenarios, but people sort of believed it because he was from industry as well, like he had connections and stuff. And it'd be like, oh, damn it, I can't believe I missed out on that again. They'd be like, unlucky, we'll use Bob again. Unlucky Bob, keep going, mate. You got this, you can do it. So you can imagine what was going on, right? And he was on the table with all these trainees that he was sort of, don't ask me why, but was sort of like leading. And he'd be like, right, guys, come on, we'll have a BD day. Let's map out this area, map out this, let's do that. And then they'd all do it and he just wouldn't be doing it. So basically it got to the point where he is on the verge of being sacked, right? He probably should have been sacked a while ago, but he's on the verge. And another big deal then is on the cards, right? He gets some jobs on. None of the jobs work out, but out of nowhere, he walks up to the board and chalks up this huge fee, like 54K. And in that industry at that time, that's unheard of. Yeah, 54K. Unheard of. And he's high-fiving everybody in the office. They're like, yes, Bob, you got this. You saved your job. He's like, come on, Bob. He's like a hero. He saved his job sort of thing. And then all goes quiet. He carries on with life, don't hear anything about it. And then he comes in one day, right? And he's like, lads, I'm going. Fed up with this place, being treated like shit. I've come in to say bye. I love you all. I've come in to say bye. And they're like, mate, why are you going? You've got a 54K fee about to come in, shitloads of commission. Well, one of my candidates out of the blue got an email from the director of this agency just saying test. And he was like, I'm shocked. I can't believe it. It's so unprofessional. I'm shocked. The candidate's shocked. It's not on. I'm not up for that. The ethics are wrong. And they're like, but you are about to get loads of commission, mate. Like, where are you going? Oh, I'm not in it for the money, me. Not in it for the money. Don't care about the money. I'm more about the principle. I'm going. So, again, being a hero sort of thing. So they're like, he's fucking mental. What's he doing? So he leaves. Later on, the director comes in, tells the real story. So it turns out what happened. He told the director the day before this big 54K placement had fallen out of bed, right? So the director's like, you're gone. Like, you going. So they basically start digging on the system. Like, how has this placement dropped out? He's had so many placements dropped out. That is a lot of money to the agency, isn't it, right? Yeah. And they start looking on the database at the back and forth with this one candidate. And they're like, something ain't right here. This doesn't, the emails don't look right. So they said, we'll just send an email to it. Test. They just sent a test email. But the candidate email was made up. It was Bob. So he'd been emailing himself back and forth. So they sent an invoice to a real client for replacement for 54 grand. Yeah. Or another, it might have been another one. And the company got in touch and was like, I don't know who the fuck this person is. And we don't even know who you are. Like, this never happened. And then, so he was making up candidates, emailing himself, hi, so they, hi so-and-so, here's the offer, blah, 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 glad you've accepted. They'd email back, hiya Bob, yeah, all good, can't wait to start, mate. It's all him emailing each other back, fake emails. And then the candidate would email back, like say 3 days later, Bob, bad news, don't cry into your porridge, I've been counter-offered, I think I'm going to stay. Oh, no way, can't believe it. It's all fake. And it gets even madder. So they look at these candidates and realise the candidates were real. The names are real. They're on the job boards, but the emails are made up. But they find the candidates and they're fucking banging candidates. So if he'd actually just done his job and rang those candidates and called them and qualified them, he could have filled these roles.
Yeah.
But instead, he's created this fake world, Bob's La La Land, and created these fake scenarios.
Oh, Bob.
They actually rang these candidates, these fake candidates, and all of them were like, oh, I would have been really interested in that job. And they've started pitching them out. Oh. They were real people. So but they said the candidates had never heard of him, never spoken to him, never had an interaction, never heard of the companies, all these fake jobs. He'd been making the jobs up.
Oh my God, that's so good.
So basically Bob had completely wasted his time. If he'd actually just done what he was meant to be doing,
could
have cleaned up.
Some money. Yeah, exactly. Mate,
that is mental.
The best thing is the high 54 grand on the board. 5 minutes.
Woohoo! Well done, Bob. And do you know what made it for me is not in it for the money, mate. Not in it for the money. Don't do it for the money. It's about the principle. I'm not staying somewhere that treats me like this.
I bet he's on a decent wage as well. That's why.
And I really want to know what he's doing now.
Oh, mate, Bob, get in touch. So good.
Honestly, when I heard that, the way it was told to me of a voice note, I was like, this is going in KOSI.
So good. Oh, I love it.
Mad, isn't it?
That's so mad. Do you know what? I actually do know people that have rung fake deals through. I've
seen. I've not seen it to that extent, but I remember when I was in my first recruitment job, somebody was on the brink of being sacked. They're on performance review.
Yeah.
And he was making up jobs. It was all facades. I think he was always intending on leaving. He was buying his time to find a job because it was like, you're either going now or... But why it always gets found out.
Yeah. Always.
But imagine letting an invoice be sent.
I know, that's to a real company.
To a real company. Yeah. I've never seen that happen before.
There's a big firm in London that happened out there because, when everyone switched to invoice on signature.
Yeah.
And then you had people on 3-month notice periods, but then invoices were being paid in 30 days. So all of a sudden you've got invoices being paid in 30 days. You're getting the comms before the candidate's meant to start. And there was a girl that did some deals. I think she collected some commission checks on it as well before it. But yeah, that's why. And then people wonder why recruitment agencies don't want to pay before they've been paid and all that. Before people have started and all that sort of stuff. But
we got in my last recruitment job, we were a CSO, contract sales organisation. So they'd go into a 12-month contract, but we'd get the full 12-month fee up front from our agency. But if they were let go within the first 8 months for any reason, and sometimes it was sales, they would be like, I just don't really like them. We'd have to give money back out of our next month's commission. And oh my God, and we were on pins until the 8 months was up. And you would be praying the project management team looked after made them stay in because you didn't want to give oh my God. It was the worst. I'd see an email come in from said person that was in charge of that team and I'd be like, I don't want to open
it. Cool. All right. I had the option for a couple here, but I'm going to go with this one and save my next one for another one. So early on in my time in recruitment, I had we had a couple of junior people into the business, and it was contract recruitment in Europe. Rates were always a challenge. We were dealing with SIs and consultancies, and so the rates were really low. So really low, really challenging to sell it to someone to go and do the roles. So I sat down, briefed a couple of these new recruiters on the role and was like, right, we're paying 350 and we can charge probably 400, 425 max is what we can charge. Set them up. I was like, it's going to be a tough sell. You've got to really sell the relocation, sell the long-term program, sell the opportunity to work for a large, at the time was a European governing body and stuff like that. And it's just gave them all the stuff to sell it. Left them to it, gave them a list of candidates, was like, right, off you pop. I worked on some of the other ones, then they worked on these. Anyway, next thing I was like, come back after lunch. And one of them turns around and goes, So I've got three people close for that, actually. Like, I was like, oh, really? I was like, yeah, send me the letter of representations and we're all good to go. I've got to take this on the chin. The letter of representations have come across confirming rates and start, happy for us to represent them and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Got that all through and I was like, banging, wicked. Didn't really read the emails again.
It's a common theme in every show, isn't it?
And then I just like forwarded the guys on to my man, my contact at the consultancy supplying into this European governing body or whatever. So send it across. They've come back on, yeah, fucking we'll interview them, this and the other. It's contract recruitment, right? So they spoke to them that afternoon.
Like, woohoo!
Boom. Next day, we're like sorting out these people's freelancer autonomo numbers because they're about to go freelance, this and the other.
We were like seeing the dollar signs. I
was like, absolute piece of piss. I was like, I've just done a split deal with these guys. It's an extra £37.50 on my book for 2 placements or whatever, because they took 2 out of the 3. And then I sent over the deal confirmation form to the newbie. I was like, yeah, mate, I'll let you fill this in. Didn't want to do the admin.
Yeah.
But mate, I feel good about doing their first deal. And he sends it back. And then I was like, wait, have you got the, I was like, why does this say pay 425? And he was like, well, that's what we're paying the candidate, aren't we? I was like, what do you mean paying the candidate 425? I was like, no, we're looking to pay 350 and we might be able to get away with charging 425 because I wanted it to be 75 margin so that we could both nick 37.
Yeah.
37 and a half is 800 in your GP, 800 in the GP in the bracket I was in. I was like, laughing, get a couple £100 out of that. And he was like, no, that's not what I've done. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, I've given them 425. And then I've had to pick up the phone, obviously, to call the client and be like, I know I said we could probably do it at 425, but I think I'm going to need a little bit more money in it. And he just turned around and went, why? And then I went, wow, the candidates.
The rookie fucked up.
The candidates want a bit more. No, I took it on the chin. I went, the candidates want a bit more money. Candidates want a bit more money. And he laughed and went, no. He's like, you've got about 30 runners here. You're going to have to take a loss on it. So the worst part was he didn't take both of them at 425 either. So both the candidates are in at 425. He gave us 425 for one, no margin. And on the other one, he was like, it's going to have to be 400 because it was between 400 and 425. So we made a €25 a day loss on this contractor every single month.
That is...
Guess what? At that place, sometimes your contractors would be there forever. Sometimes they'd be there for short stints. I was praying this was going to be one of those short stint ones. That motherfucker stayed on site for 2 years. And
I would just be working out what I could have got every month.
And do you know what the worst part about that story was? I was trying to remember it as to whose fault it was and who didn't read the letter.
It was yours.
And it was me. I couldn't believe it. But again, you learn so much from those things, right? Like now I'm like, pay, charge. Do you know the difference? Pay is what? Charge is what?
You wouldn't, yeah. And do you know what? I remember doing contracts, because it worked differently in my second agency, like proper contract recruitment in my first agency. So I did perm and contract, but less contract. And I remember I was so frightened of getting it wrong.
Yeah.
I would always get my manager to work it out for me and make sure I got it right, because like I just didn't trust myself with the numbers to get it right. And even now, when I go into agencies for like training, I don't tend to train them anyway on what rates they can agree and stuff, because every agency's different, aren't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, I say to them, I'm like, you're better off doing it, because what if I get it wrong?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't want to take all that responsibility for the rookies in particular. Nah. They need to tell them how they like to do all that stuff, because it's intricate and it's very as you found out in that instance.
Mate, I honestly...
It's so important, isn't it?
It's so important. And do you know the worst part is that poor fella started his career in recruitment with
a loss.
With negative numbers on the whiteboard.
I can't believe he stayed there for 2 years.
2 years I got around for. I will never forget, I can't remember his name now, but he's a Bulgarian fella. So we used to move all these Eastern European folks over to Alicante to do some work. And he was like, I had to make a loss on it. It's ridiculous. I'm mindful of time. I'm going to talk about our sponsor.
I was just going to say we need to do that
quickly.
Yeah.
So our sponsors, thank you to Hinterview, Richard McLaren and Andy Simpson over there. If you don't already follow Hinterview or follow the two chaps that
you should.
Rich, you should.
Their posts are brilliant.
Andy and Rich's content's amazing. Their CRO content, Sam, I think he's just gone on maternity leave. Congratulations. Paternity leave, not maternity leave. His content's great as well, so do give them a follow. AI note taker for recruitment agencies specifically,
lifesaver,
as well as video content intro bit of kit. I've got to say they seem to be really, really having an emergence back. The story about how many old customers are coming back in and joining, signing back up is great to hear. So if you haven't checked out Hinterview in 2025, then you don't know what it's all about. You definitely need to go and have a look at it now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Brilliant.
It's 1:15.
We need to do our own stories.
Personal stories?
Yeah.
You go.
Okay, I'll try and keep mine short.
Yeah.
I had a post blow up the other week. Some of you might have seen it, but it blew up for completely the wrong reasons.
Like blew up. I mean, this went viral.
Viral, yeah. It actually consumed my whole Friday, the day it went out, and it's still consuming some of my time. But it went viral. So basically, I had a message, and this will come up. The post itself shows the message on the screen. I had a message from what I knew was either a bot or a spammy fake recruiter, basically. And I like to have a bit of fun with them because I get quite a lot of them. I know a lot of other people do, and it's annoying, but I also think I'm going to call them out because it's, it's just shit, isn't it? And basically, I thought, well, this is funny. I'll share it as a post. I'll blank the person's name out just in case they are real. Because I'm not about like calling people out like that on LinkedIn. And I'll put it up as a post. So basically you'll see it on the screen, but this bot or person was like trying to pitch to me like, oh, I've got amazing skilled recruiter jobs. Do you want to discuss any openings? And it's like not being funny. I'm not at that point anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plus on my profile, I have an agency. So do you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. So I just emailed back what I normally do. Sorry, LinkedIn message back. Have you looked at my profile at all? And this person replied, bearing in mind that was Wednesday, they replied on Saturday. That's poor effort from a recruiter. Come on, same day. Do you know what I mean? And she said, yes, it says that you're a wanker. What the hell? And I thought that was really funny because in my headline, it says High Rocks wanker. Yeah. So I thought she's either taking the piss out of me, touche, or she genuinely is shocked. So I thought, this is really funny. I'm going to share it. And all I put as the caption was, I was referring more to the fact that you most likely haven't read my work experience, but that is a fair point. Yeah. I thought I did a great job blanking it all out, right? Anyway, I put this post up. It goes mental. So I had in total 211 comments and 637 likes. But people started going wild in the comments. Some people were like, I can't believe she's called you that. You should report her. And I couldn't make sense of it. I was like...
Not reading anything.
I was like, I don't get why they're getting so offended by it. Yeah. And then I realised you can't fucking see it in my headline with all the time when the post comes up. So I was like, oh shit. Then people start tagging her. I'm like, how do they know who this person is? I was like, oh my God, multiple people. I'm talking like it was going ping, ping, ping. And people like Andy Den were like, oh my God, this is who it is. I was like, oh no, oh my God, oh my God. And then I was like, how do you want to know who she is? And then people were taking the piss out of me. They were like, you can fucking see it, Kate.
Because you hadn't redacted it.
I didn't redact it properly. I used bright orange instead of black. And I thought I did a brilliant job of it. So tell me if you think I've done a shit job. And honestly, the amount of inbox messages I've had of people going, you do realise you can see that person's name. Her name is. Yeah. I was like, yes, I do know, multiple times. But I had some major abuse as well. I do get abuse on LinkedIn. I do.
You get ridiculous abuse on LinkedIn.
People are quite, I don't care, but sometimes people are quite nasty, usually blokes. One of the responses I got, I won't read all of it out, but just to give you an idea of how absolutely batshit crazy some people are on LinkedIn, and there's absolutely no need for it. Get ready for a lawsuit. 166 comments and 397 likes, and God knows how many people have read that post. You could at least cover her name properly, but you've done it on purpose for public humiliation. As you knew, people will zoom in to see if it's a real account. A woman your brain size making public a young adult that doesn't want to talk to you. Her answer is absolutely normal. called me a motherfucker a lot. And I thought the funny thing is I actually didn't mean to do it. No. Still waiting for the lawsuit, by the way. So, you know, but
that geezer's unhinged though.
Unhinged. But I just, honestly, I thought I couldn't keep up. And I was like, oh shit, I've fucked this post up here. So
I was travelling somewhere for an event. I can't remember where it was, so I didn't get to see any of this unfold. I remember being on the phone to you going, "What? What do you mean? What happened?" Yeah. I remember the first thing I looked at was your edit skills, and I was like, "That is such a poor effort on the fucking."
I genuinely, I promise you, I was like, "Well done, Kate. Yeah. Good job, well done." And then obviously it went nuts. But yeah that is. It's still loads of people like, Kate, this is fucking brilliant for all the wrong reasons, but it's entertained me massively. Yeah. Some of the comments were very funny. So if you could find it, go back and look. But yeah, that's my story.
Yeah, and you went viral, which is great.
Yeah, great.
All press, no such thing as bad press.
Yeah.
Is that what they say? Yeah. My story of the week is Cheryl.
I do love Shazza, by the way. Big up Shazza.
Cheryl's got herself a job in recruitment. Cheryl was going to get a part-time job working at a local hospital as a secretary. I was on site with one of my clients. They were talking about needing some admin support, and then it twigged. We were like, oh, why don't we get Cheryl to do it? And I was like, yeah, cool. Set them up with an interview the next day. So spoke to Cheryl about that night. Cheryl went and had lunch with the two co-founders. Got along like a house on fire. Cheryl smashed it. Got the job.
Yes.
Off we go. It's going through embedded ops. I finally sucked her into the recruitment game. Great for the family.
I love that. We should get her on here actually at some point.
She would hate that. We'll get the whole family in recruitment. So, and it's great. And because there's a real need for that service as well.
Yeah, there is,
Cheryl can just own that admin piece. So we're coordinating the first day. They were like, right, come on in. It's a Monday. We need Cheryl in all day so we can onboard her, get her laptop set up, etc. I was like, yeah, no problem. I'll do the nursery job. I'll cram my day in. I'll pick the kids up and I'll stick with them for the evening. Evening rolls round. Doing dinner with the kids. They send me I message Cheryl, what train you get in, standard chat that couples have at the end of the day with one another. Like she'll message me, what time are you home? I'll message her, what time are you home?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, it should be about 7:30ish or something like that. I was like, yeah, cool, no problem. 7:30 rolls around, nowhere to be seen. She's like, I'm having a drink. I was like, oh, all right.
Welcome to her world, my friend.
I was like, oh, I've tasted my own medicine. I don't like it. Like, all right, kids are fucking running around everywhere going mad.
I am loving this
story.
One
of the worst bedtimes I think I've had with them. Like, no one's going to sleep. I'm like,
I remember you messaging me.
Yeah, I was like, no one's going to sleep. Cheryl's not here. Eventually, I just give up on what time Cheryl's going to come out because I thought I'm not going to be that guy that's just messaging where you're at. So I take myself to bed. Finally, the kids go down. Took forever. I go to bed. Next thing, 12:30 on a fucking Monday night, Cheryl stumbled in after a first day in recruitment. And I was like,
she's in the fold.
And I was like, for years I've always tried to explain that it's all about relationships, networking, go out socializing, And I've got to say, disclaimer, Cheryl does not care. Cheryl's like, do what you want.
Yeah, she's very good with you.
So chill. She lets me do whatever I want to do. So I'm not going to paint her out to be that picture that finally she got to see what it's like. It's not that. But one day in recruitment, Monday, 12:30.
I am here for this.
Good effort, girl.
Good effort, Shazza.
Good effort, girl.
And also, I do love, though, that you've had a taste of your own medicine.
I know. I was there trying to... Honestly...
I was thinking that as you were messaging me, I was like, welcome to Cheryl's world, my friend.
God, that 3:30 to bedtime shift... That's the toughest shift out there, man. I'm telling you, that was so fucking hard. I was like...
And also you had work to do, didn't you? I remember.
I had so much work to do. I was drowning in work. I was going to do it when I got them to bed. They wouldn't go to bed. It was just fucking ridiculous. So, yeah, Shez is in the game now. So, I hope we should get her to come up with some stories.
Yeah, I was going to say, she needs to be feeding us back stories from another perspective as well. Yeah. But yeah, I love that you made a placement through Embedded Ops.
I know. The post, by the way.
That was good.
The post I did for that, everyone was like, you had me at the first bit. Because I started off by saying, I've just done my first 360 placement in 6 years or whatever. Loads of people were like, oh, we actually thought you'd done a placement. But yeah, no, Shezza in the game working at Gregory Walker. Yeah, no, I do love that. Pimping her out. There's no margin in that deal. I'm telling you now. You did it again. There's no. You said you learnt the first time. Can't even blame the rookie. Can't even blame the rookie this time. There's absolutely. Will you ever learn? No margin in that deal. And do you know what? I think the cheek of it. I think she even bought up holiday pay. Did she? Love that. Overtime? Right. No, hopefully not. I'll just give myself a cramp. Right, that hour and 5 minutes has flown. We got calls to do.
If I don't say so myself, I think that was a bloody good episode.
I enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
I've got sweatier though. Good job, Tom, with the fan, but we're going to have to turn that up next time.
Actually, we can't finish yet. I need to just say one more thing. We need to take the piss out of Tom.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tom. Tom
Here quietly, I was hoping you'd forget.
No, never forget. So we're going to make fun of Tom here. Tom overslept this morning, didn't you, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were here.
I travelled from the depths of South Wales. I got up early this morning over that bloody bridge.
Yeah.
Si's come from London town.
Yeah.
And Tom lives 10 minutes down the road and he was late because he slept in.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was funny though.
It was very funny,
good content.
It's been good for, good for
actually
content.
just reminded me because I was going to do it behind the scenes. Do you want to close it off and I'll just film you closing it off?
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, thank you again to Hinterview, our sponsors. Thank you to you guys for listening and watching. We've been Nessa and Twin Dad Si. Looking forward to the next episode.
Yeah.
Soon.
We haven't done our catchphase.
Oh, yeah.
Remember,
folks, LinkedIn
is not real life.
Oh,
yay!
there we go.
Let's do a Bob high five.
See you later, folks. Banging.
Yeah.